All right, you guys, as you know, this Sunday it is officially wrist up. It is 12-time Shedeur Sanders starting for the Cleveland Browns versus the Las Vegas Raiders in a game I think he's going to put on a flat-out show, and I believe the Cleveland Browns will win this game. Now, Tommy Reese took the podium today. He's the one responsible for putting together a plan as the offensive coordinator and play call with Shedeur Sanders, and things did not sound great today. It sounds like he may want Dillon Gabriel back. We got to take a listen to what he said in his press conference today. Let's give it a listen, man.
With any quarterback, with any player, really with any quarterback, you want them to feel as comfortable as possible. For young players like Dillon and Shedeur, that's pulling from a lot of different avenues. That's pulling from things that, they've been comfortable with within your system, things that they like. So that's our number one job, right? You want to make your quarterback comfortable. You want to call plays. You want to put in plays that breathe confidence into them as they hear them, as they call them, plays that they know they can make work. And then you press the guys around him to raise their level of play and play well to continue to breathe confidence into young players and into young quarterbacks. So that's really been the motivation this week moving forward. And had a good first day of practice, had a good walkthrough this morning, so continue to build off of that.
What's the realistic expectation for what a week of practice reps can do for Shedeur in terms of from what he did last Sunday to this Sunday?
Yeah, certainly don't try to put any sort of expectation on guys, especially young players. I think we're about our process and about what drives that process. Certainly you look at having a full week of prep, a full week of game planning, a full week of him being in the forefront of your mind as a coach, and he knows that as a player. You hope that all those things benefit and come to fruition on Sunday. Expectations, I would say we try to limit those. It's more about, hey, we're going to pour, this whole week into making sure that you feel comfortable and confident. And, our goal and our job is to make sure that he gets that feel and gets ready to go on Sunday.
What did you think of his debut?
Yeah. Look, I think it's a hard position to be thrown into, obviously, but that is the life of being a backup quarterback in this league. So a lot of guys have faced that. A lot of guys have played that role. Really proud of the way he fought. We had a chance there going into the last drive and had a chance to really up until the last couple plays to go ahead and either win the game or tie the game up at the very least there down the stretch. Had a shot there on the second to last play, and obviously the last play didn't go our way, and for a couple of different reasons, but really proud of the way he fought. He stayed resilient. He stayed in the moment. Gave us a chance to win the game at the end of the game, and we'll look forward to coming through on those opportunities down the stretch.
Well, why don't you talk to the damn line about 3 dudes not blocking 1 player? How about that? How about we get the line in order, Tommy Reese?
So much about trying to create explosives, and you mentioned that play, the second last play, and the one before that he took a shot. It feels like he has a skill set for throwing the ball deep and likes to throw the ball deep. Is that something you've noticed and something you maybe lean into with him?
Yeah, I think make him feel comfortable. What are the things that you feel like he excels at? That drive starter, right? He threw a big in cut to Harold that, really got us into position. And in 2 minutes, you're always looking for a chunk at some point to kind of get the drive going and get you in position to have success down the stretch. So, we're going to tailor it to what he's comfortable with, tailor what he's confident in. We have confidence in our guys down the field to make that play. We have confidence in Gage. When the ball was in the air, I truly believe Gage is going to make this play. Especially,
he should have. If he makes that play, this is a whole different conversation. Game over, 12-time wrist up.
The way that the turn happened and all that, we've seen Gage make those catches in practice a lot of times, and we have confidence in our guys to make those, and we have confidence in Shedeur to make those as well.
When you look back at the blitz looks that the Ravens showed you guys in the second half, just what do you think overall you guys can do to combat that a little bit better?
Yeah, it definitely felt like their plan shifted, right, with the quarterback change and the amount of pressure that they brought. Look, there's a lot of different things we can do schematically without getting into all the details, but certainly changing the launch point, we did a couple times. We max pro'd it a couple times. We got to be technically better in some areas. We have to being the right checks in some areas. So, that protection, there's a lot of different issues that are caused. And it's our job as coaches to keep defenses off balance with our protection plan. And then, we got to execute in some of those specific looks as well.
Do you think a lot of those problems stem on the fact that your first down yardage is the worst in the league right now?
It could, yeah. It certainly could, yeah.
I mean, is that been a focal point now, or where do you see the reason for that?
In terms of just pressure in general?
Why are you guys only averaging 4 yards first down?
Yeah, I think there's probably a bunch of different reasons there. Some missed opportunities, certainly both run and the pass, and something that we're focused on improving at.
Tommy, going back to when Shedeur made that start in Carolina, it seemed like early on, he was drifting backwards. When pressure would come, he kind of tried to run backwards, and it seemed like as the game progressed, he got more comfortable playing within the pocket. Do you feel like that's something for him that, as he just gets more reps, he'll get more comfortable playing behind the guys in front of him?
Yeah, I think that's his first time playing, and there's probably some movements there that you want to eliminate. And I think as you get into the flow of game, a lot of quarterbacks, find their way as those first couple drives get going. And, certainly for him, he stood, like I referenced that first play, the 2-minute drive, he stood in there, knew what he had, knew what he wanted, stayed in the heart of the pocket, delivered a good ball. He moved a couple other times on that last drive to extend or slid a little bit to find Jerry on the completion on the shallow. So certainly in the flow of the game, you hope you kind of settle in and relax your feet a little bit. And the more you're back there, the more you feel confident in where those protections are and where we are protecting them. But we got to do our part around him and make
sure. Yeah, block. How about that? Y'all talking about him escaping out the back of the pocket. Y'all wanted Dillon Gabriel. He can't even see over the line in the pocket.
Sure that he feels that as well.
It looked like in the second half you guys did a little more hurry up. Is that true? And just why so?
Some of it was circumstantial, right? I mean, you're in really almost 2-minute drives there. The last 2 drives where you're on the ball, you're playing with a little bit more tempo. And then just, there was a plan of doing some of that in the game. Obviously the game script kind of changed on us a little bit when things changed. So we were trying to get comfortable and confident and then move ahead. So there was some of it based on being in 2 minutes and some of it part of the plan going into it.
How would you say that Dillon was coming along over his previous 2 games? And in a perfect world, and I know this is Kevin's decision, with you and everything, but in a perfect world, would you still like to see more of Dillon going forward?
All right, here we go. The Dillon Gabriel thing.
Yeah, look, pleased with, we want to continue to focus on the process of improvement. And certainly Dillon has areas that he wants to improve on and areas that we want to continue to coach him on and improve him upon. I thought we did some good things there in the first half that we were trying to come out of the bye and build off of. I think he was 7 of 10 when he came out. We hit a couple good balls to Said. Had a missed opportunity there on the 3rd down late in the first half. So I thought Dillon was trajectory-wise in that game playing the right way and giving us a chance there to really have success offensively and doing some of the things that we've asked him. We're going to continue to stay with that process, continue to improve upon the things we need to improve on, and focus on getting all these guys better each and every day.
All right, so Tommy Reese wants to go back to Dillon Gabriel, man. It is what it is, bro. Let's just ball 1 week, Shedeur, man. It is what it is, bro. These dudes is haters, man. Get down in the comments. Let me know what you think about this. Just keep the vision. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe.